1 year ago, I decided to move to Montenegro with everything that I owned without ever knowing anything about Eastern Europe or the Balkans. And in that time, there's been a lot that I've learned and some things that have completely changed the way that I view America and Western Europe as a whole. So in this video, we're gonna experience a day in the life of a 23-year-old American living in former Yugoslavia while I share my thoughts on how things have changed over the last year of living in Montenegro. Off the bat, one thing to notice about Montenegro is how beautiful the nature is. It almost is unparalleled. I've spent a lot of time in Lake Como, I've spent time in northern Italy, I'm originally Italian, and almost nothing can compare to what you see here in the Bay of Kotor. But this small sidewalk with these tiny boats is nothing compared to the mega and super yachts that we will find in the billionaire hideout of Porto Montenegro, which we'll visit soon. But first I need to get my things because it's time for us to go to yoga. Okay, so we just finished one of the first things that I really appreciate about Montenegro, especially Tivat, and that is a general appreciation for reconnecting with nature and ourselves. Not all Montenegrins do yoga. However, here in Tivat, I feel like they take all of the innate parts of Montenegrin culture and turn it into super digestible forms of exercise. Just like with this yoga class. As you can tell, this facility is really advanced. That's one thing that I really appreciate about Eastern Europe is how clean and well-maintained everything is. It's brand new. This building, in fact, was finished in the summer of 2025. And it's clear to see that a lot of attention was placed in the little details. So next we're gonna do a workout. We're gonna do chest and triceps today. But before that, I have to bust open my R. Wiegler Focus and Energy drink. And that kind of brings us to the first adjustment I had to make when coming to Montenegro. And that is accessibility to the products that I'm used to. Obviously, part of the reason why I left the US is because I didn't feel safe consuming any of the products from grocery stores. Even if it said all natural or organic, it just still made me feel like I was getting sick every time that I ate anything in the States. And so part of me is happy that I can't really get the same brands and the same things that I'm used to. However, at the same time, the inability to easily access little things, like maybe Amazon, is a blessing and a curse. Like, it's unfortunate that I can't easily ship something that I need. However, it's really nice in terms of I actually have to go out to select stores. And it's kind of fun because you get to like experience being out and you get to meet new people. And so it is a double-edged sword, right? Like, you don't have the convenience, but honestly, in terms of quality of life and social life and being able to spend more time exploring and experiencing the world, I kind of prefer it. The only thing that I wish I could get here is a flippin' Celsius. I wish that I could have Celsius. Now, with all that being said, I will argue the products that are here, the alternatives, are actually just as good, if not better, because the quality of the ingredients is so much higher and you're actually eating real food and you're not consuming a whole bunch of chemicals. So what you just saw is something that I really love and appreciate about Montenegro especially, and that's the ability for people to bring their dogs everywhere, right? Animals are really appreciated here, and so Ramona, my little dog, I take her everywhere that I go, and she's unleashed, just like that guy's dog, everywhere that we go, right? She's incredibly safe, no one freaks out. In the States, I tried to bring my dog into a restaurant, and I was immediately kicked out, but she was sitting on my lap, not bothering anyone, and she's hypoallergenic, so she doesn't even shed and no one can be allergic to her. And sometimes it really bothers me in the States that people have these unwavering policies that don't necessarily make sense to be applied in every situation. Whereas like here, people apply logic before they follow the policy. And that kind of takes us to the next part, and that is the kindness of people and strangers here. Like, I feel like Montenegro especially is one of the only places I've ever been where a lot of the times your energy and your vibe with someone will negate a lot of the rules rules or policies that they may have with their business. And I don't mean that it's like some sort of like corrupt, weird thing. It's not at all, right? Everybody here especially likes to follow things by the book. It's just in the terms of like, if there's something silly and you're able to get along with someone really well, like say for example, you're looking to order some sort of cocktail or adjust something on the menu, and usually they're like, oh, we don't make those adjustments. But you explain like, hey, listen, I'm vegan and I'd really like to try this. You know, would the chef be open to maybe adjusting things a little bit so that I can be able to enjoy his cooking because my friends can eat here, but I can't. And a lot of the time, they'll be completely open to it. And sometimes I'll even build personal relationships with these chefs because they come out, they ask how it is, and it's a lot more person and connection focused rather than just like transactional in the West now, where like people operate shallowly because they're reliant on tips, and so they have to be artificially nice. Whereas here, yes, you can tip, but it's not necessarily in relation to the price of the bill. It's in relation to the energy that you had, the amazing experience that you had. Even if it was a $20 bill, you can tip $10 simply because you really enjoyed the experience. Or you can tip nothing, and that doesn't matter, like it's not expected.
The location, I be on the way at 5. Really more sane, it's a rental like buy. Every time you see me, know you gotta keep quiet till you snap maps out. Girl, I'm trying to catch a vibe. Ooh, hey, I'm here parked outside.
So I just finished my workout and I'm about to hop in the sauna, and one thing I wanted to draw attention to is how clean public spaces are. Like, in general, I always see the cleanest spaces here in Eastern Europe. Everything is incredibly well maintained. Everyone puts the towels where they're supposed to be. Even the stalls are incredibly clean. They're left open because they don't smell. So I just finished my workout. We're gonna head back to the house. I'm gonna go grab Ramona, and then we're going to take her to lunch so that you can see what it's like to own a dog in Eastern Europe.
No get the time for the hate and the bad energy. Got my mind on my money. Make you dance like broccoli. Steady green like broccoli. Steady on my grind, oh yeah, what they want telling me. Could deny my fantasy. They want to check if my tap ain't no wrong.
We just made it to lunch. This is Milica.
Hi.
Can I see? And Dorofal. So Ramona is running around right now. You can see there's a little baby. Okay, wait, that's a cat. That's a stray cat. Animals are just loved so much here, and they're treated so well. Ramona, vení qua. She's able to really be like a real dog, you know? So while we're here doing human things, she can do dog things, rather than being stuck at the house and that kind of thing, which I really appreciate. Okay guys, so we just left lunch. I have Milica behind the camera. Thank you so much for filming. Tivat is a really luxurious, as you can see, Tivat itself is a very luxurious area. Everything here is built for the top of the top, very upscale, very clean. It's not necessarily indicative of Montenegro as a whole. However, it does represent a lot of what makes Montenegro special, right? I feel like Tivat is just the luxurious version of all of the values that you can find here in Montenegro. So we do have the Rolex store, there's Bulgaria as well. And this is the Regent. This is one of my favorite hotels here in Tivat. It's a phenomenal place to stay, and the staff is just so wonderful. That's something that you find everywhere in Montenegro. The staff is always so kind, whether they're from Serbia, from Montenegro, or from Turkey, but don't let anybody hear me say that. Okay, so let's go. Let's go.
Oh, la belle vie, sans amour, sans souci, sans problème. Oui, la belle vie, on est seul, on est libre et on traîne. On s'amuse à passer sans peur du lendemain.
We just got to a coffee shop here in Tivat called Cafeteria. How's it?
Cafeteria.
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 Cafeteria. I don't know if it's because I'm just getting acquainted with Balkan culture and customs, but I feel like when I go to a lot of these coffee shops here on this side of the world, it's a combination of every culture. Like they have like really good French desserts while having Italian coffee and having a little bit of everything that I appreciate and value when I'm traveling or when I'm in Western Europe.
Zamé.
Fala.
Hvala.
No, it's okay. We just got our coffees. I got a dirty chai. As you can see with Ramona, I mean, she's just been able to explore all over. As someone who wants to see the best for my little child, I feel like a place like this really allows for that to happen. It's pretty easy to tell that Tivat is definitely a place for people that like a little bit of sophistication. They like more of a... That woman is so classy. She's so beautiful, right? I mean, everybody here dresses so well. That was a perfect example. Honestly, like this is not a place for everyone, and that's for a reason. It's for people that really like a sophisticated environment. They like to be with nature. They like to see opulence. I mean, those yachts are amazing, and during the summer they get even better. I enjoy going to Dubai simply because it's easy to feel inspired by your environment. However, it does lack a lot of the nature that I love to see in my daily life. And so Montenegro has a little bit of that opulence, at least here in Tivat, that you see in Dubai, while having the nature. And so for me, it's really nice. It feels like I can have a little bit of everything that I appreciate and I enjoy. All right, so it's currently the next day. Yesterday, I just worked the rest of the afternoon, so nothing too exciting to record. Today's Sunday. I spent the morning working, grinding. Now it's 3 p.m. I'm headed to pick up my friend because we are headed to a recovery retreat in another town called Herceg-Novi. It's gonna be something interesting. I don't really know what to expect, but I'm gonna take you guys on the journey with me.
Talking to the moon like I'm Bruno, boy. Spending 20K a night in Montenegro. On the Adriatic, dollars doesn't stop the family drama, though. I hate theatrics.
Right now we're on the ferry on the way to Herceg-Novi. This is the only way to cross the bay, or at least this side of the bay, from Tivat towards Herceg-Novi. It's a really nice experience because every time you just get to come out of the car and enjoy and sit or talk. And right now we were able to catch the sunset, so pretty exciting. And then soon we'll be in Herceg-Novi for the retreats. The experience started with a cleansing of the space, followed by a guided meditation, holding and drinking cacao, pure cacao that came from Guatemala. And as we experienced the cacao throughout our bodies, we went through 3 other phases of ecstatic dancing, and then we laid down for sound bowl meditation, followed by another guided meditation, and then we closed the ceremony with Sanskrit chanting, ohms, and singing in Sanskrit, Spanish, and English. So we just wrapped up the retreat here at Retreat Lab Lazur, and it was a phenomenal experience. Here in Montenegro in general, there's tons more of this recovery culture that's starting to build. And so for people that really enjoy that connectivity that you find with yoga, or the ability for beauty labs that you find in Dubai, for example, well then Montenegro is starting to become that culmination where you can find a little bit of everything from every part of the world. And that's part of why I really love living here.
How did you find the event?
I feel a lot more connected to myself, to be honest. I think that this experience has really brought me the type of clarity that I've needed. Through the last few months, I've been going through a lot of internal changes. That's part of why I started this channel. It's because I felt like I was finding myself now that I'm at a point to do so. And this has been that final piece for me. I know that when I was on the dance floor, feeling everything, I was like, you know what? This is right. Everything that we're doing is right. Everything that we're filming and building, like we're at the right point and we're doing the right things. And so this really helped ignite that fire within me, and I'm really happy about it. That's a wrap on the weekend. I feel really rejuvenated from that experience. Montenegro just has such a great balance between the Western amenities of like great water pressure, good infrastructure, while having the nature and culture that we can find in Southeast Asia. Like when I was living in Vietnam, I just loved so much all of these like health restaurants with like yoga and great connectivity with nature and the people around us. And I feel like Montenegro is that perfect balance between all of those things. So Ramona and I will be winding down, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
I always knew you'd be a star on the stereo. You understand?